Yes, guys, welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102. We have got the third instalment of Marc Rutger's save. Now, firstly, I must apologise because I fell a little bit behind in all my videos and shit. And I'd asked Marc for part 2. He messaged me saying, I've sent you part 2. And I'm thinking, I know I've fallen behind, but that's taking the piss. And I've just checked. I've done part 2, so this is part 3 coming up, where he had already done 5 seasons. Now, 2 things about Marc, right? There's a good thing and a bad thing. The first thing is, Marc sends me a part, like, several seasons later, which I really like, because it shows you the big change of where Marc's come, rather than an update a year later or something like that. On the flip of that, Marc also sends me a write-up of how he's been doing, which makes it difficult for me to be able to go into this blind. So what I've done, Marc, is I've not reread anything that you sent about how you've been doing, and I've because obviously, as I told you, Marc, I've been a little bit delayed on time about making time to do these videos, so I've not gone through it. So now we are going to fire Marc Rutger's Part 3. He'd finished 5 years, so I can't for the life of me. I also renamed, Marc, what you sent me or what I downloaded, because I didn't want to give no spoilers away. Well, first things first, we know that you are in Spain. Okay. Let's do it like this without... Right. For fuck's sake. So Marc Rutgers as clearly as Real Madrid. Let's take a look. So look at that. So another 6.5 years. He's certainly been really firing through. Look at this. Right, so he was Juventus when we last looked, which was which was close to the end of 06. Well, it was at the end of 06, end of 5 years. He's taken Holland, Lyon, Hertha Berlin, resigned as Holland after 2 years. I like that. A nice little 2-year stint. Sporting and now Real Madrid. Very, very interesting. I've got to try and refresh myself now as to what Marc... that was it. I had to remember what tactic Marc used, and I recall now. It's a little bit fucking... Looks a bit disabled. Okay, so Shane Tolley is at Real Madrid. He's still got Tolley going. The chances are we're going to see very few players that we actually recognise now. Michael Carrick. We will have a look at his credentials as a manager in a moment, see who he's got. Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. So he's into his 11th season now. So this is great stuff. This really is great stuff. Let's have a look now then. Let's go back to Marc because let's have a look at him as a manager. Yeah, looking good. Looking good, okay. Achievements I think we can get to, can't we? Okay, so Manager of the Year, Manager of the Year. No one gives a shit about Manager of the Year, so I don't care. 8 leagues won, 17 cups, 15 awards, manager points. Yeah, who gives a shit about that? Okay. Not really. Competitions, okay. So let's see now then, Real Madrid. Okay, so looking good. Super Cup winners, finished first in the Premier League. He's won the Portuguese League. Is there a quick and easy way for me to find out exactly what he's done? There isn't, I don't think. Not as a manager. Won the UEFA Cup with Hertha Berlin. Won the German League with Hertha Berlin. European Champions Cup winners with Lyon. Won the French League. So the European Championships. Won the Confederations, which was good. Won the Euros. Won the Euros 08 with Holland, hence why he resigned probably shortly after. So he won the League Cup with... Okay. Won the Italian League with Juventus. Won the Champions League. So there's no doubt about, right, that Marc has been around the block. He has really been around the block. And that is really, really good to see. Let's have a look at manager stats and something. You must be getting on. Let's have a look at the. No, I mean personally, you put Marc number 1 on this world reputation stuff. He's been around. They don't have to come out with some bullshit sometimes, but generally speaking, this is really, really impressive, Marc. You've really been round the block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams. So Holland, England, Spain, Spain, France, Germany, Portugal, and now he's back in Spain. Let's just have a look at what leagues he's got opened. See what. See. So what you've done here, so you've got 6 leagues open. So what you've done is you've done the 6 country challenge, but then you've gone round again. This is quite very interesting for you to end up at Real Madrid. How much money have you got to spend at Real? Not much. Do you know what? I saw that guy and I thought that was Ibrahim Said, but clearly it's not. Hang on a minute. Hani Said. I've never even heard of him. Jonas London. Okay, Etex Berry. I love seeing certain players. Shane Tolley is a star. That is bizarre. Oh God, splitting headache. Right. So the generalisation then, to summarise, Marc Rutgers. I think you've done a great job, Marc. I think you've done really, really well. Your tactic, it looks a bit obscure, but nothing wrong with that tactic. Looks all right. Do you know what? I never knew, Marc, you used a starter kit. I'm not a fan of the starter kit personally. I prefer to just keep proper installations. But you've done an absolute great job. Now, obviously, you don't have the you don't have the protection thing on, do you? Yeah, you do have the protection on. No. Scrap that. You don't have it on. I have it on in my game. Right, okay. Never mind about all that shit. So, what else can we look at then? I mean, other than what we've just been through with Marc, he's had a fabulous time. He's had a fabulous time. So he's taken over Real Madrid this season. Looking to get rid of the dominance of Barcelona. Look at that. Look at that bullshit Spanish football. Let's take a look at. Let's just take a look at the results so far this campaign. I mean, it's worth this formation. It's worth having a look at for you guys. It's definitely worth having a look at. I don't know why I went to Levente's formation there. Oh, of course. So he's not in Champions League this season. So a bit of a disappointing season for. Yeah, it looks like a very disappointing season for Real Madrid last campaign. Hence why they sacked their manager. Let's see where they finished. Finished 8th. Fucking horrendous. That's why they sacked their manager. And Marc, this is really good stuff. And I bet now, Marc, I bet you wish you had more leagues opened. Now you're at this stage. I think this is very, very impressive. I think you've done an absolute grand job, Marc. I'm intrigued to know what's the next step. I mean, obviously, I know you've gone round and you've gone back to Real Madrid. Is your plan to go to more? Are you coming towards the end of the save? Share it with us, Marc. But this is fantastic work, Marc. You've done a cracking job on this. And I just had to remember just what sort of setup you had. Make sure you weren't using Whib-Bob. But yeah, all good, all good. Okay, guys, if you've got any saves you want viewing, analysing, critiquing, bastardising, share it with me. Until next time from me, guys, take it easy.